Oh, we're live.
We are live. It's funny, guys.
All right, what's up? All right, hey, this one's a pretty interesting one. We got Christian Fuentes. We got the A team right here. Let's make sure that we don't, we don't ruffle any feathers, or is that what we do around here?
Okay, let's do it.
Let's do it, man. Why not? Right? The more the better.
All right, so let's see here. Let's just take one quick second to go ahead and do some shares.
So how are things on your side of the world right now, Christian?
Guys, it's been good, man. Every day I'm here working, just trying to either help my agents, help my clients, help anybody I can help. I keep telling my agents right now is the time to serve, not the time to sell. And just help people, and connect with people, make good connections. And, every day, we have a routine here at home now. I have a schedule that I try to stick with. And it's crazy, mainly because of the kids. I got the kids here and we got to teach in the morning, at least an hour and a half, and then afternoon, a couple hours. So you think about that's at least three to 4 hours just with the kids, being a school teacher. And then I got to take them outside or go for walks or do some basketball and just entertain them. So, I mean, that's probably the most time we're spending, but it's actually, I feel blessed, that we're able to spend more time with the kids right now with family. And actually, it's been good, man. Really like it.
You know what's crazy, man? Me too. It's one of those sayings where it's like, what happens when life throws you lemons? You make lemonade, How long did it take you to go ahead and adapt to like a little schedule and like a routine to get the kids like, okay, we're going to do this, do the schooling at this time. We're going to play some basketball. Like, how long did it take you to get that going?
Funny, I'm very scheduled, right? Like my whole day pretty much is like, you guys know, I wake up at 4:30 in the morning. I'm at the gym at 5. 6 o'clock, I'm done. I come home. Actually, no, I do my cardio, and then I come home around 6:20. Then I do my whole thing for like half an hour. Go through my goals, read my Bible. Like I'm like super scheduled, right? I wake up the kids exactly at 6:50, and then breakfast and time with the family. I drop off the kids. So everything's like boom, 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 right? And now it's like my schedule is completely a mess. So the first week was crazy because I'm like in such a routine, and now it's like, okay, everything's all over, and then the kids are here, and then opposite, Jeanette is not very scheduled, and she kind of does things all over, kind of different from me. So then it's me and her now trying to work together, and I'm like, dude, kids are supposed to be doing something right now, and she's like, no, we'll do it later, and I'm like, no, I want to stick to the schedule. So I think the first week was really difficult because we're so opposites when it comes to schedule. But I think I kind of decided, I'm going to be a little more chill. It's not a big deal. Things are going to change. So I'm not as strict as I was in the beginning. I'm kind of more relaxed right now, and it's been better now.
Yeah, I think I've had that problem is trying to relax on the situation because I'm usually regimented just like you, man. I like waking up at 5 a.m, go to the gym, do my routines, and then start work probably about 8 o'clock. And I try to beat the world by 10, and now it's like, sometimes I wake up and I'm like, oh my God, I got a lot of time to kill, but it is an adjustment, and it kind of like it plays on you because you're used to that schedule. Yeah. And now I can't go to the gym. So that's what really like throws me off. I'm like, okay, now what do I got to do? So, for workouts, I mean, what do you do right now?
So I just think, mainly outside with the kids, just kind of either running or playing basketball. Honestly, I haven't done any weights or anything because I don't have any weights at home. So I just got a box delivered yesterday, which I got some weights. So I'm going to start probably doing those tomorrow or Monday and just getting to that routine. But I actually been pretty bad with my workouts in the last 3 weeks, because honestly, I don't have a lot of things here at home. So, yeah. But it's just, again, getting used to a new routine, and that's all it is.
Well, I mean, the good part is you're back on camera because I know you're really shy, and it did take a while for your hair to grow back. So, I mean, this is the new and improved Christian we got going on.
That's right. That's right.
And he's got a beard.
I got a beard too. Look at that.
Yeah, how's Jeanette liking that?
I think she likes it. My kids like it, So I just kind of let it grow a little bit.
Yeah.
For now.
Christian, the reason I wanted to talk to you, and I know we've known each other, it was crazy because I didn't know, I didn't believe it was like 10 years now, dude. So we've known each other 10, and I know that we've been around the same for about 15 to 18 years now. Um, I've experienced, the down economy, and I'm not saying that that's where it's headed, but as a broker owner, a lot of the people that follow us, a lot of the people that we respond to, or that we hope that look at us as that leader, what have you done in order to prepare? Did you take precautions last year, 2 weeks ago, or 2 weeks? When did you start preparing?
Well, it's funny. I actually started talking to some of my agents, and I don't know if you guys remember, I was posting a little bit last year in regards to the market shift coming, and I felt that there was something was going to happen. I wasn't sure when, but since last year, I was very conservative. I was always either buying flips, as 15 to 20 flips every year, and I would always be carrying anywhere from 4, 5, 6 flips, right, that I was doing at any given time. And last year, I just decided, I'm going to be a little more conservative, and I wasn't buying the tight deals anymore that I used to buy, and I was just being very selective, and maybe ended up doing a handful last year. Maybe I did 5 or 6, which is very low for me. And then this year, I only had one that I'm in escrow right now, and I'm hoping to get out of it. But I was already planning ahead to slow down, and the reason was because I remember the last crash. I knew multiple people that were buying properties, flipping, all kinds of stuff. And when the crash happened, I mean, they were stuck with 10, 20 properties, maybe more, some of my buddies, and they lost a ton of money. They lost a ton of money. And of course it was bad timing. So I just decided last year, I'm going to be more conservative, if for some reason I see the market good, I'll buy a couple. And if I don't see the market's getting any better, I'm going to be conservative. And luckily, I'm just going to close one up, and I'm going to wait. And Jessie was asking, you were asking me earlier that I posted that I'm going to be holding from buying. And, I personally see that there's going to be a market shift coming. I don't know if I want to call it a crash. What I'm doing right now, guys, is every investor I know, every successful millionaire, the older, my buddy Hector calls him the grumpy old man, that's been around for many, many years. Yeah. I'm asking questions, I'm asking questions. What do you guys see happening? What do you see this market going? And a lot of them are saying, it's going to be a slowdown. Prices are going to go down, and I think the market will come down. Now, does that mean we're not going to be able to make money as realtors? Not at all.
No.
I think go ahead.
Oh, no. And I was going to just, piggyback on what you just said. And this is for consumers, realtors, as well as investors. Okay. I myself also stopped picking up properties about, 24 months ago. And I do have a couple of grumpy old men that, I deal with. And the one thing that I, learned from them is that they were telling me, he says, Jesse, you're buying something at 300 with a value of 400. When you start seeing the indicators, like right now, he goes, you're just going to adjust your price just to get it off the books. And you know what? You win some, you lose some. But in reality, if you can just get your money back that you invested, the 300 and the 50,000 that you put back into, rehab, it's a win. And I'm telling you that because I just closed one of those of my personal ones on Riverside. That was the biggest headache of my life. I actually earned all these, nice gray hairs because of that one property. But is there still going to be deals out there? Absolutely. If it's a consumer, I really just think that you're going to be able to take advantage of the marketplace. You're going to see that an investor went in, put the money into rehabbing it, wasn't able to sell it for the 420, and it's just going to let it go for the 360. So no foul, no harm. And then we're able to move on to the next deal. So are you looking at, Christian, did like your lines of credit freeze up, or are people being more conservative? Did they say we're now only going to lend up to 50-60% LTV? What's your take on that?
Look, I call all my hard money lenders, my connections, last couple of weeks, I've been in touch with them. A lot of them are not lending right now. And if they're lending, they're being super, super, super conservative. And of course, because they're expecting the market to come down. So the last thing the hard money lenders want to do is have to foreclose on a property, right? And if we see a market drop, and remember our margins, most of these flips that we're buying, we have we're buying at 75% of Airbnb, right? And you still got to spend about part of the money, about 10% goes to rehab, right? Cost.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, market drops 20%. I mean, there goes all your equity, there goes all your profit. And is the market going to drop 20% in the next 6 months? I think it is. 6 months to a year, I think we're going to see a drop. Yesterday, I was on a call with Eric Musa. He had a meeting, a Zoom meeting, and he was actually on CNBC. He did a report on TV, and he said it the same thing. He said, guys, market is going to go down. If I was going to sell my house, I would sell it now, because I think there's going to be a lot of inventory coming out. As soon as this virus goes away, I think there's going to be a lot of people are going to say, I'm going to get my house sold right now, get my money out. They're going to be expecting a shift, a downturn. So I think sellers are going to want to get out. And if you remember, that happened back in 2007, right?
7, 8, yep.
7,
Yep.
8. So that was the last our last crash. If you guys remember, 2006 was like beautiful. Everybody made a ton of money, right? Everybody's buying the cars and buying the nice watches, buying, spending money like crazy, right? Yeah. And then what happened? 2007, they pulled the plug, right? I think 2019 was kind of similar to 2006 for us. 2020 is like 2007. We'll see how this goes. And then I think a lot of people are going to try to sell their houses, and I think it's going to just flood the market. Lenders are being more conservative right now. They're pulling some programs off the shelves so that they don't get in trouble. And,
you're right. And it's not going to be it's not going to be a lender problem where, these were bad notes that were written. No, these are just people that unfortunately were not able to go back to their job. Maybe they're self-employed and their business was affected so bad because of how long they were, closed, and they're not going to be able to go back. And I keep using this as the analogy. They stopped the train. They stopped the train to 0 miles an hour. And if you guys know, the trains are heavy. In order to get the train back up to speed, it's going to take a very long runway for it to start chewing again. And I'm telling the individuals where the recession is going to be on a case by case. It's not going to be across the board. It's going to be this person wasn't able to open his doors and generate money fast enough, and now one of two things: either they're going to have to sell their home to keep the business afloat, or they're going to have to go and get a job to keep the house afloat. They're going to have to tie into their reserves and all these different outlets. Where you're right, Christian, we have to be that source of education. Right now, it's not the time to go ahead and make that sale. It's going to be about providing the most accurate information, and everyone's situation is different. So that's a key component that we need to keep in mind. I know that a lot of people do have one source of income, and I would take this time to study up and get into maybe another certification, another field. When we started doing business together, Christian, one of the things was I went REO overnight. And then from REO, I went straight into hedge funds. So it was one of those things where you have to adapt, and you have to adapt quickly. What do you think is going to be the best source of earning an income for as an agent in the months to come?
Well, look, I had a call with my office on Monday, a mastermind, and this is exactly what I told everybody, guys. This is the time that we need to be professional real estate agents, right? What does that mean? That means that we need to learn how to do everything to do with real estate. In depending on how the market is, agents go, oh, I don't want to do listings. Okay, got it, right? Or I don't like working the buyers, right? Or I don't like doing short sales, or I don't like doing this. I think this is the time that we should go out and number one, you're gonna have to work way more than for the last 5 years, but also just go and do any kind of business. go out and serve your clients. So there's going to be short sales coming out, I'm sure. And if you say, well, I'm never going to short sale, I don't want to do short sales. Well, you should learn how to do short sales and get ready, because there's going to be a lot coming. REO, I think, is going to be something that's going to start happening soon. Why not start getting acquainted with the REO and see how you can get some accounts with some asset managers. The buyers, I remember the last crash. I came from being a buyer's agent for 5 years. I worked for a team for 5 years, and I would do 60, 70 deals every year, only buyers. So I got really good at doing buyers. So when the market shifted, I remember carrying a ton of listings, but nothing was selling. And then I was just going out showing buyers, and I would put 5, 6, 7, 8 buyers in escrow every month. And I think if you haven't worked the buyers, or you don't like working buyers, guess what? This is the time that you need to switch that and start working the buyers, right? Maybe get acquainted with commercial. We just launched this year in our office a commercial division, and there's a lot of people looking for commercial agents. They're looking for leases, they're looking for buildings. So why not get acquainted with the commercial side of it, right? So I think this is the time that you're going to have to make sure you learn how to go out and take care of any business, not be so selective.
All right.
Stay
Awesome.
humble.
Yeah. Right now, check out my ringtone.
The Purge.
Oh my God, that's scary, bro.
So what do you, Christian, what are you telling sellers right now? Like, as
Thank you.
opposed, should they stay right now, or should they wait till this whole COVID-19 passes?
Well, to be honest with you, is it the best time to put your house on the market right now? Probably not, because it's hard to show. But I also think that if you need to sell your house, if there's a need, put it on the market. I just put a house on the market last week in West Covina. We priced it well. We took every precaution. It's a vacant house. My client needs to sell the house because they bought another house, is vacant now, and they have a mortgage payment to pay. So I told her, if you want to put it on the market, we'll put it on the market. Let's price it right. And sure enough, we had multiple offers, and we just opened escrow today. So things are selling.
Congrats. Yeah.
I had another property in Rancho Cucamonga, same thing, about to close last week, and the buyer lost their job, backed out last minute. So my client was kind of, flipping out. They're buying a brand new home, right? And they still want to move. And I told my client, if you want to cancel everything, go ahead. Let's cancel everything. Don't worry, you don't have nothing to lose. And she said, no, I still want to move. So threw it back on the market, and I already got a couple offers we're working on right now. So I think if someone needs to sell, go for it.
Yeah,
but if you can wait, maybe wait. Wait, because a lot of us cannot really work the way we normally work. We can't really show houses, and there's a lot of fear with this virus. People don't want to bring people to their houses, maybe get infected. So I can see that as a concern.
And I'll tell you guys, working with the consumers, working with your clients, the only one thing that they ask from you right now is communication. So, reach out to them every other day, no news, just text them. In some cases, they don't want to talk to you, but just let them know, hey, we're still not able to show homes. We're still not able to host open houses. They just updated Riverside County, you must wear a mask. So don't go into the detail of that their home's not selling, but just let them know that you're still actively working. You're not just sitting at home doing nothing. And that's in reality what these sellers are asking, because I'm sure Christian just made it sound like it was a peaceful conversation. But I know for a fact that seller that has 2 mortgages right now was freaking out. Yes?
Oh yeah. Totally, man. So that's why I'm saying, if you need to sell, and if you don't need to sell it, if it's not urgent, maybe wait. I will wait probably about 30 days, see what happens. I think, again, guys, I think it's too early to know what's really going to happen with our economy. I shared this a couple of days ago. Everybody I ask, what do they think about the market and the economy? Everybody gives me a different scenario or a different story. So I just think it's too early to know how this is going to affect. Sorry, I don't have a virus.
You sure it's a good thing we're
Hey, you can't steal my punchline when I was about to hit you with it, man.
She's cooking some spicy hot salsa, and I guess put it on my throat.
What about buyers right now? I mean, you seeing buyers out there? Are they still looking?
Yeah, there's buyers looking. Every day I'm talking to my agents and I'm texting. They're texting our management team. We're kind of keeping everybody informed on sales and just sharing wins through the office so people get pumped up and excited. And buyers are out there, guys. Buyers are out there. Sellers are out there selling. I mean, the market's still moving. The rates are good, as you guys know. So
Yep.
Has it slowed down a bit? Yes, it has. But there's people out there buying. So I think at any market, there's always going to be sellers. There's always going to be buyers, no matter what, right?
It's just a matter of just adjusting right now. So
Yeah.
we gotta all adjust.
Yeah. What's the one bit of advice that you would give a realtor right now? And I'm not talking about a seasoned realtor, just a person that was making a living. What's your advice to them, Christian?
I think right now the best thing you could do is work on yourself. Work on your personal development. Get involved with some good masterminds. Get involved with some good business training, mindset training. I just really work on yourself. I keep sharing this that this is a time I think God is testing us. And this period is either going to make you or break you. And I think you need to really figure out what your priorities are. And for me, it's a 5 priorities that I have is God, my family, my health, my business, my financials, right? So this is the time, of course, faith. Work on your faith, read your Bible. Get involved with something to help you, a higher power, and of course, enjoy your family. I think this is a good time to spend time with your family and just enjoy your wife, your kids. You're forced to be with them even more now, so why not enjoy it? And then at the same time, the health, right? Stay healthy, do something, be active. And then work on your mind, work on your business, work on your clients, work on your database, work on your skills. There's all these things you can work on, your home. So might as well get involved with personal development. And I think this is also a big one is get yourself around good people, get some mentors, get some coaching, make sure you're getting good, positive reinforcement that we're all going to be okay, and cut off the negativity, cut off the people that are drowning you with bad thoughts or negativity. You have to be around good people, good mentors.
I think you hit a good point right there is being around and collaborating with positive people, because let's go back to 2008 and remember when shit just hit the fan. Your reps couldn't give you an answer. The banks couldn't give you an answer. Nobody gave you an answer. It was like the whole world stopped, just like it is right now. But do you feel like now that you've gone through that process, you kind of mentally, emotionally, maybe a little bit more financially, a little bit more prepared? So you're probably not as freaking out like maybe back then, because now it's like, you know what? I need to talk to people. I need to figure out what's going on out there and bring that positive vibe in, because I may not know all the answers. They may not all the answers, but together somehow, if we collaborate, we can figure this out. You know what I mean? Yeah. So what's the difference between back then, remember when it just hit, and then now you seem to be, is your mindset completely different?
Yeah. I mean, that was what, 11 years ago, if you think about it, right? 11 years ago, 12 years ago, right? 2008. And, funny thing, that's when me and Janae got married, and 2008. And 2007, I was pretty much broke, right? I had no money, broke.
And she still married you.
And she still married me.
Yeah, there was only one way to go from there. It was up.
Go up.
Right. And, I came from, and I learned from my mistakes, right? I came from being 2006, 7. I made really good money, but I would spend a ton of money. I was the guy that bought the nicest Mercedes. I would spend crazy money going out, parties and all kinds of stuff, shopping. You name it, right? So I was living above my means, right? Paycheck to paycheck. I could make $50,000, $60,000 in 1 month, but the next month, I was barely making it. So I just had a lot of bad habits back in those days. And once I met Jeanette, I even shared this many times. I used to be pretty chubby. If you guys don't know that, I used to be almost 200 pounds. But
pretty chubby.
Yeah, very chubby, right? And like right now I weigh 165. So think about it, almost almost 40 pounds more. And I was unhealthy. And that's when I met Jeanette. And basically when I met her, we started dating, got married, and my priorities changed. Now it's all about family and building the business. And sure enough, from there we started just working very, very hard, and my focus went from partying, going out all the time, and just being wild, to now I'm just focusing 100% on my business, my family. And I remember 2008, we got married, and then we actually opened our office 2012. But I got into flipping 2010. I don't know if you guys knew that, but 2010, I got into flipping. And the way I got into flipping was I started studying a year before the trustee sales. I worked with a couple investors, and I was like, man, why are these investors making all this money and I'm making a little tip? I would make my $4,000 or $5,000 commission, and the investors were making $50,000, $60,000. And I was like, man, there's something wrong here. And sure enough, I started learning about the trustee sales, and I would go to the auctions for a whole year. I would go, I would see the sales going on. I would study what they would buy for, what they would sell for, the type of rehabs they would do. And then I was just getting a lot of data, learning. And then at one point I was like, okay, I got to do this myself. And I went and I got an investor partner. I had not a lot of money, but I got an investor that I had worked with before, and he bought some rentals through me. And I said, hey man, do you want to do some flips with me? And that's how I got into flipping. I started using his money, buying stuff at the auctions. And then eventually I was buying, 4, 5, 6 flips, and he would run out of money. So I brought in more investors, and then I continued to bring more and more and more investors. And eventually I had like $10 million from multiple investors and buying flips at the auctions, auction.com, at the courthouses, you name it. I was buying all kinds of stuff. And that's how my flipping career started. And at the same time,
what year was that? When you started, what year was that?
2010.
2010, yeah.
So we were still in a really bad economy at that point, right?
Yeah.
Like it was still hard, but you still found an opportunity.
Yeah, so 2009 and 2010, I was actually doing a lot of buyers, because a lot of people were buying at that time. And I did a lot of short sales, and I remember the short sales used to take 6 months to a year, even longer, right? To go through. And I was always carrying, 10, 15 short sales. And, but good thing about the short sales, either one, I was double ending most of them. Some of them we ended up buying eventually because it became part of us buying for our investors. And then I would get the listings. And so, I think guys, in any market, what I keep telling my agents is the people that are going to do great are the people that are able to adapt. And I think the people that are going to are preparing already now. I keep telling everybody, I don't share my experiences from the past, from the crash, or to scare you. It's more to prepare you.
Absolutely.
Prepare. Hopefully, not to say for the worst, but prepare for the worst and hope for the best. And then we're all going to go through this, and then hopefully right after, the people that are able to adapt quicker are the ones that are going to do very well. And I think at the same time, a lot of agents are not going to make it through this next market shift, and they're going to be probably out of the real estate business. Kind of like the same thing that happened last time.
Absolutely. Yeah, no. And I like the fact that, you post on there, and I know yesterday I got kicked out of your group because your top producers, you guys were all, lying. And that's what Christian was saying. You find that group right now. Stay positive. I see a lot of people doing their Zooms, and they got, 30, 40 people on, which is great. And one of the things that Jaime always brings up is you could still just put up your Zoom just for accountability purposes while you're still working. So that's the other part. Just go ahead and mute the person out, and the camera is what's going to hold you accountable. So still continue to make your phone calls, make your connections, hit your contacts. And I'll tell you, if before we were doing 20 contacts a day, you guys should be doing 60, because everyone is home and they're doing nothing. So, keep that in mind. Jaime, anything you would like to chime in with?
I like going back to your story, Christian, is, I think when people look at you as the broker, they see your success now, but they don't see where you were at. And I think what you brought up, the important part was that you were coachable in 2010. You know, you saw an opportunity and you went to somebody and said, hey, I want part of this, but I need to learn it. And I think that's where, like, agents right now, you're going to have to either align yourself with people that can teach you something that you don't know, and you're going to have to humble yourself, you know. And I think that's where I give you kudos, Christian, is because you did that. You know, you just didn't come out the gate and you were a flipper, right?
No, not really, man. Well, you know what? I think if you guys don't know my story from how I got in the business, but I always been the guy that wanted to learn from people that are doing better than me. You know, I started at 21 as an assistant for 3 years, minimum wage, got my license. Then I went to work for Martinell for 5 years as a buyer's agent, again, because I wanted to learn from the best. In the meantime, I got involved with Mike Ferry and Tom Ferry, and I was coached through them, did a lot of NLP, all kinds of stuff. You know, I pretty much did every single active lead generation out there, called the expires for sub owners, door knock, I mean, you name it, right? I did a lot of that through my years. And then eventually started my own team. That's when I met my wife, and we had a very successful team all throughout my years, even opening my office and building our company. We started with 4 agents. We're at 234 agents now. I always have been coached by someone. I always have been mentored by someone. I always mastermind with people that are doing bigger things than me, because I want to continue to learn. And I think that's a problem you see out there right now, that there's a lot of people that go, oh, no, I got it. I don't need nobody. I don't need no motivation. I don't need no mentoring. I don't need no training. I'm good. Okay, well, there's always someone doing better than you. Why not push yourself? Why not go for bigger and bigger things? You know, I just spent a lot of money. About a month ago, I had a mastermind with Manny Koshman. You know, if you guys don't know Manny, he's a big commercial guy. He buys buildings for like 20 million.
His car collection's worth like, 25 million alone.
25 million. I got to see all the cars, went to his house, spent 2 days there, right? Why did they do that? Because I want to learn from someone like Manny. I have we were supposed to do, actually, tomorrow was supposed to be our one-on-one meeting in person, but we had to postpone it. But why am I doing that? Is because I want to learn from him. You know, this guy's making millions. He's doing big deals. So yeah, I've been flipping houses for a while, but I want to also start doing other things with our money and investing on some commercial. And even Manny's been saying from our master, there's going to be a recession and there's going to be a crash coming on the market. And I think there's going to be a lot of opportunities in commercial units, income property, all that. So I'm learning from those guys, you know? So I think moral of the story, guys, just always got to be learning from someone. You know, you have to surround yourself with successful people and have them help you or advise you or coach you through good and the bad times.
Absolutely. Well, Christian, I really just want to thank you for coming on, sharing some tidbits. I know that, this is being shared on Facebook. We'll go ahead and populate it on YouTube. So make sure that you guys continue to follow us, like the page, and also share it, hit the like button. But once again, guys, I really appreciate your time, and you are a wealth of knowledge. So thank you, Christian.
Thanks again, Christian.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for doing this.
Say hello to Jeanette for me.
I will, for sure.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? We should do one. Just have them together, and I want to see them go at it. Like, I mean, because they're complete.
Bring it around right now.
Yeah. They're complete opposites that make it balance, which is awesome. So that's super cool.
Let's do that. If you guys want to do that, we'll do like we could talk about how we work together, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Right?
Yeah, there you go.
That's it. We got the topic.
All right, guys.
Bye. Thanks,
All right, thanks again, man.